Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs wrapped up another early signing day period and once again knocked it out of the park. That's what they always do around signing day. Georgia has 25 signees right now, waiting on another 2, Jamal Merriweather, Raymond Cottrell. For info on both of those guys, make sure you head over to Dog Post. But Georgia has the number 2 class in the country right now. They killed it, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And now that we're a few days after the early signing day period, I feel like it's time to give out some grades, right? So let's jump into it. Let's talk about what Georgia did right, who they got that they needed to, who maybe they missed on, and give a final grade on this class, even though it's not completed just yet. So let's start with quarterback. Obviously, Georgia didn't take one. They went all in for Arch Manning. Probably smart thing to do. He's the number 1 quarterback in high school football in this class, but they didn't get him. So you can either give Georgia a failing grade or incomplete. I'm going to go with incomplete. I don't think it's fair to say. It's not like they went after 3 quarterbacks and didn't get any of them. They went after the best of the best. Arch Manning took one big swing, came in second, and said, you know what? We don't necessarily need a quarterback in this class. Kirby Smart spoke about that earlier this week. You can read that on Dog Post as well. But I like where they sit in 24. Quarterback Ryan Puglisi on board. So Georgia's going to be fine. So incomplete at quarterback. At running back, Roderick Robinson, an absolute stud, huge dude, 230 pounds, 6'1", just a bowling ball at running back. Rushed for over like 2,300 yards, 30-plus touchdowns in San Diego. I've been told that he's now a legend in San Diego, one of the best running backs to ever come out of San Diego, California, after what he did last year as a senior, leading his team to a state championship and just running through defenses left and right. I think he is going to play. I think he's a good piece for Georgia's offense, what they do running the football. He breaks a lot of tackles, and he's going to have a nice career, but he was not their first option. Of course, Justice Haynes signed with Alabama. Reuben Owens, who Del McKee recruited since he was a freshman in high school, he's at A&M. And then Richard Young, another guy who they had on campus and pushed for, he went to Alabama as well. So as far as giving a grade, I don't think Georgia got their top 3 guys. So it's a solid B for me. Roderick Robinson is an excellent back. I expect him to have a solid future at Georgia, especially because I think he's going to play a good bit. He's the only running back they took in this class, and he can carry the load. 230 pounds, again. And I like him as a back, but he wasn't their first option. Don't think he was their second. Don't think he was their third either. Still got him. Still really good running back, but I'm going to give him a B. Offensive line. Not an elite guy on the offensive line except for Monroe Freeling, elite offensive tackle, number 1 player in South Carolina. But I think Bo Hewley is still more of a project than other people in the industry think. I'm not as high on him as other people are. Jamal Merriweather, 6'7", 280 out of Brunswick, still hasn't signed. Well, he did sign, but he's not officially in the class yet. Hard to explain, but I did on Dog Post, so go read that. But he's more of a project kind of right now who needs more development. Not super sold on Joshua Miller, one of the guards. Kelton Smith is solid, the 4-star guard that I think they got out of Columbus out of Carver High School. But overall, there's no real Broderick Jones, Amarius Mims, Andrew Thomas guy, although Monroe Freeling, I think, could be a multi-year starter at tackle, which is important. So it's going to be a B. Going to be a B for me. It's not like they went out and missed on a couple of 5-star guard or tight end, tackle types. But, it's not, jaw-dropping class on the offensive line, but it's solid. It's a B. Tight end, A+. Todd Hartley does it again. Got his 2 top targets, Pierce Spurlin, Lawson Lucky, guys who can catch the ball, do dangerous things after the catch. They block. They got size. They've got, experience dominating at that level of ball. 2 of the best tight ends in the country. And I think Todd Hartley's going after the best in Deuce Robinson. More information on him throughout the month of January. I really like where Georgia sits with him. But even if he commits to USC over Georgia, or signs with USC over Georgia, Todd Hartley's getting an A+ from me, bringing in 2 of the best tight ends in the country in this class. Wide receiver, I look at it a lot like the offensive line. They took 4 guys. 2 guys with really good size, physicality, ball skills, and Raymond Cottrell, one of the other guys who hasn't, not completely on board just yet as I type this. But dude, 6'2", 200 pounds. Tyler Williams, 6'3", 200 pounds. Yazid Haynes, not a small guy. He's 6'1", about 170. And Anthony Schwartz, a speed demon, one of the fastest players in the country. On the lighter end as well. I'm not going to call him small either, but you got 2 guys who can really run and be almost an immediate vertical threat. and two guys with size who can block on the edge, who also can snatch the football and do things with it. So they didn't land a 5-star. They didn't get Jalen Hale, who I thought they were pushing hard for in the summer. So didn't get him. Not a miss. You just didn't get him. They didn't get him. Same with Hakeem Williams. He is an easy 5-star in my mind. At one point, I thought Georgia led for him. Didn't work out. Didn't go to Texas A&M either. I think he ended up signing with Florida State. So it's not like they got their top 2 guys on their board. Tyler Williams is, I might be wrong there. Tyler Williams was very highly thought of by Brian McClendon. I don't know their board exactly. He's probably in that top 3, maybe higher than that 3 spot, but he's really good. If there's one elite guy in this class, it's Tyler Williams. Although Anthony Schwartz, Anthony Evans. If I'm got his name wrong earlier, I apologize. Dude can fly. He brings elite speed. Overall, B plus. I like this group as 4. They all bring something different to the table. Yazeed Haynes is an excellent route runner who can get open. The staff loves him. Anthony Evans with his speed. Tyler Williams, his whole body of work, the physical toughness that he brings, along with the ball skills, yada, yada, yada. And then Ramy Cottrell is solid as well. Let's go on to the defense. I'm 6 minutes in. I haven't even talked about the defense yet. Let's start at linebacker, where Glenn Schumann gets an A+ from me. Absolutely. He got us 3 guys. C.J. Allen, two-way player out of Lamar County, just tough, physical. He can also run for his size at 220, 225. Love everything about the kid on and off the field. Easy top 100 player in the country. You got Raylan Wilson. Some people think is the best overall linebacker in the country. Can run, can cover, can hit. Natural instincts. He's young for this class, but Glenn Schumann went after him hard early in the process. He chose Michigan over Georgia at first, then decided, you know what, I want to play for the best of the best. That's Glenn Schumann, and that's Georgia at linebacker. That's where I'm going to go. Raylan Wilson is an absolute stud. Then Troy Bowles, another guy who can cover, still hasn't even scratched the surface of his potential, in my opinion. Son of a coach, knows what it takes to work hard, get better, develop, listen to your coaches. Those 3 are outstanding. This is an excellent trio of linebackers. I have high expectations for all 3 of those guys. Defensive line could not have been much better. 2 5-star edge defenders, Sam and Pimba, Damon Wilson, Gabe Harris, another uber athletic offensive outside linebacker edge type. They're all around the 6'3", 6'4", about 240 range. But all 3 of those guys are only going to get better. They bring a lot of raw athleticism, natural pass rushers, but they all can still work and develop their craft and what to do, how to beat guys both inside and outside, this and that. High expectations for those guys as well. Then you got your 2 defensive tackles in the middle. Jordan Hall, who I think is probably a top 50 player in the country, as close to Jalen Carter as Georgia has signed since Jalen Carter. Big athlete at 300 pounds, can blow up any particular play. And then Jamal Jarrett, just a run-stuffing guy who eats up space, eats up blockers, leaves everything, for guys like Raylan Wilson, Troy Bowles, C.J. Allen to roam free and make tackles. And he's going to put Jordan Hall in a position to make, be in one-on-one situations. And more often than not, he's going to win those. So those 2 playing side by side are going to complement each other. You got the 2 guys on the edge, along with Gabe Harris. What did I give? I think I gave an A. It's an A. It was between an A- or an A, giving them an A. I mean, you got 2 5-stars, a guy who probably should be a 5-star, Jordan Hall in the middle. It's an A. They got everything checked on the defensive line with that crew. Then the secondary, it is not an A+ because they didn't get Caleb Downs, so it can't be an A+, but 5-star AJ Harris, long, athletic technician, fundamentally sound, great footwork, instincts, ball skills. You've got him on a corner, plenty of size who can run. Chris Peel, another guy out of Charlotte, one of the best defenders in the Charlotte area. He's, 6 foot, athletic, can run. He's another technically sound guy, looks for the football when it's in the air, can read the quarterback, dissect plays before they happen. There's a lot to like about his game. Daniel Harris, who they, got committed. He opened it up, then signed with Georgia on Wednesday. 6'2", like 175, 180, who can also run and goes up against the best competition probably in the country, or some of the best competition in the country down in Miami. They love him. They love what he can bring to the table. So they've got 3 big-time corners. Janelle Aguaro, one of the hardest hitting defenders across the country at safety, just a downhill, wanting to just rip your head off type of hitter. he's a guy who I think could really play early, covers a lot of ground in the back end, but he brings a physical presence that is going to be seen early. And when he pops you, he's going to leave a bruise. And he's an intimidating defender that they've got at safety who I think could push maybe for a starting job, maybe by year 2. I think he's going to play a lot next year as a freshman. Probably the sleeper pick that I have on defense, guy who probably plays more than people expect him to, but he's a borderline 5-star. I mean, he's one of the top safety prospects in the country, might be number 2 behind Caleb Downs. So the talent is there. The staff loved him from day one. He was an easy target from the very beginning. I think the Georgia staff said Caleb Downs, Janelle Aguero, that's it. Those are 2 guys. Obviously didn't land Caleb Downs, but they do have Justin Rhett, another versatile defender. And then Kyron Jones, 2-way player, another guy out of Charlotte, big time running back, made a lot of plays running the ball, but he's an excellent defender, book smart, had offers from Harvard and, all those other, Ivy League schools up there. But he's come to play football. And he said, I'm going to be a defensive back at the University of Georgia. That's where I want to go. Sorry, NC State. It'd be nice to run the ball for you, but I'm going to play in Georgia's secondary. And so they got 6 guys. I think he could be that star safety spot. You have the 3 corners. You have the 3 safeties, versatile guys who could play all over. Kirby said earlier this week, he said, you can't come to Georgia and play one specific position. We would like you to be able to do a lot of different things. So we can move you around and do everything they want to do defensively, but you have to have the talent and the versatility back there, and they got a lot of it in this class. Overall, it's an A. Can't be an A+. They did not land Caleb Downs. They did not land Arch Manning. Noque Rusall, an edge defender they liked early on. James Smith, an interior defensive lineman they liked early on. So they didn't get everyone. Alabama's the only team that gets an A+ because they're number 1, and I don't think they really missed on anyone. Georgia missed on a few guys, but for the most part, they got just about everyone they wanted. They closed strong on signing day. An elite defensive class. I would put their defensive class on board with Alabama's in this class. One of the best in Georgia football history. I love everything they did on the defensive side of the football. Offensively, little question mark here and there, but defensively, they got a lot of guys who I think are going to play on Sundays at the next level. So overall, A+ on the defense. B, kind of B+ on offense. Maybe that's being harsh. I don't know. Let me know. That's just how I see it from covering this class from the very beginning and how it's looking up now. And what do you think? Leave comments in the comment section below. Really appreciate y'all watching. Hope everyone is having a great Christmas Eve. That's when I'm recording this. And thanks for watching. Stay over to Dog Post for the latest and greatest recruiting and team news moving forward. And enjoy the next video.